Hello everyone, good day and you're welcome to my channel. My name is Juliet Chukukelo and you're welcome to my channel. Thank you for stopping by to watch today's lesson. Thank you for subscribing to my channel, and to my new subscribers, thank you so much. You're welcome to the family. So in this lesson today, we'll be looking at the topic that says algebra, okay? Now whenever you talk about algebra simply refers to branch of mathematics that deals with the representation of numbers using letters and other symbols, right? Algebra is simply the representation of numbers using letters or any other symbol. If you could remember when you were in primary 1, primary 2, we learned about this topic called open sentence, right? Whereby you can be given something like maybe 2 plus box equal to 3, find what is in the box, isn't it? Now in that case, we are using box to represent a missing number, all right? So algebra simply teaches you how you can use letters and numbers, letters and other symbols, okay? It could be boxes, could be anything. So the use of letters and other symbols to represent numbers, that is what algebra is all about. Now, when you talk about algebra, you can talk about algebraic equations, algebraic expressions, algebraic fractions, use of brackets in algebra, finding missing values in algebra, and all that. So we'll be taking the subtopics one after the other. Please kindly stay to the end of this video so that you will be able to understand what this lesson is trying to teach you, what I'm trying to teach you in this lesson. Thank you. All right, first things first. When you talk about algebraic expressions, now you are talking about expressions of this sort like 2x plus 1, y minus 5, 5m plus 4, 7p minus 2, 30y, and so on and so forth. These are algebraic expressions. As far as you are having letter in that expression, it becomes an algebraic expression, all right? So this is just an expression. Now, when you equate an algebraic expression to a value, you have what you call an algebraic equation. So an algebraic equation is simply telling you that two algebraic expressions are equal in value. So the word equation is taken from equal. Now when you say equality, you're talking about two values being equal, all right? Two values having the same quality, right? Okay, so an equation is telling you that two algebraic expressions are equal in value. Once you see an equality sign, sign of equality between two expressions, then you should know that that particular value you have there is an algebraic equation. Now look at the difference between an expression and an equation. For expression, you don't have equality sign there, right? But for equation, of course, you are equating an expression to a value. So an algebraic equation has this sign of equality. That's this equal to sign. That's just the difference between algebraic expression and algebraic equation. Just the sign of equality. That's the difference. Do you understand? Okay. Now you can be given some problems and you'll be asked to express such questions in terms of algebraic expression. All right. Now let's say, for example, let's say you have a question like this. All right. Write the algebraic expression. Write the algebraic expression for 3p books, all right, at 50 naira per book. Write the algebraic expressions for 3p books at 50 naira per book, or better still, for p books, p number of books. To solve this is simply telling you that this per book means one book. So whether you are saying per each, you are talking about one. Do you understand? So it means that one book, all right, cost 50 naira. Now, to know the cost of P books, you therefore say P books equal to 50 naira times P. It's just like you going to buy a book, and when you got to the bookshop, you were told that one exercise book costs you, let's say, 500 naira, and you say, okay, I want to buy 10 of such books. Therefore, means that you are going to pay that 500 naira times 10, right? So that's exactly how to do it. One book costs you 15 naira. Therefore, to get P books, this P, remember, is standing for a value. So in every algebraic expression, the letter you have there is standing for an unknown value. So when it comes to expression, the letters stand for unknown value, all right? Now when you get into equation, now the equation will now help you to find the value of that unknown letter you have. Do you understand? Okay, so P books equal to 50 naira times P. And of course, 50 naira times P becomes your algebraic expression. And 50 naira times P can also be written as, now 50 times P is 50P. When you use a number and multiply a letter, you bring them together. For example, if you have 2 times x, 2 times x is 2x, 4 times y is 4y, 10 times m is 10m. So when you use a number and multiply a letter, you simply bring the two values together. So 50 times p is 50p. Therefore, 50 naira times p gives you 50 naira p. Now, this is the algebraic expression for this particular question. All right. Now, let's look at another example. Question says a man bought 60 yams. All right. After buying the 60 yams, y number of the yams were bagged. All right. Remember, this y is representing a number, an unknown value. We don't know the value, and we can't know it in this expression except we equate it, we have an equation. Do you understand? So a man bought 60 yams, okay? Now, y number of the yams were bad. Write the algebraic expressions for the remaining yams. Okay, the algebraic expression for the remaining good yams. Remember, the total number of yams. Total number of yams. All right, you have 60. Now, number of bad yams. Number of bad yams. All right, you have it as what? Y. All right. Now, to get the number of good yams, therefore, number of good yams, all right, is going to be total number of yams, which is 60, minus the number of bad yams. All right. So the algebraic expression for the number of good yams is equal to total number of yams, which is 60, minus number of the bad yams. So we're going to have 60 minus y as our algebraic expression. So this is actually very, very simple to understand. Now let's go into questions involving algebraic equations. Okay, class, for algebraic equation, like I mentioned earlier, an equation is trying to tell you that, or better still, an equation is simply telling you that two algebraic expressions are equal in value. So in an equation, you have the sign of equality. Now, what you have here is telling you that the value you have by your left-hand side is equal to the value you have by your right-hand side. So whatever I get as my value of x, once I substitute it to this, my answer must surely be 20. Do you understand? So that's just what an equation is telling you. That what you have by the left is directly equal to what you have by the right. That is the meaning of equation. Now the question says, find the value of x if 3x plus 5 is equal to 20. Now before we start solving, for algebraic equations, there are things you should take note of, all right? There are some terms that would help you when you are solving algebraic equations. Do you understand? Now, the terms are like you have what we call collection of like terms. Well, I don't know if you understand the meaning of collection of like terms. If you don't know how to collect like terms, all right, in mathematics, please drop in the comment section. All right? I'm going to make a tutorial on how to collect like terms in an expression. Do you understand? Okay, so like, back to what I was saying. In solving equations, number one, you should know how to collect like terms, and number two, you should know how to cross multiply, like when you are given a fraction. All right, you should also know how to divide both sides by coefficients. Okay, don't know if you understand what I mean by coefficients. But as time goes on, I would chip in the meaning of coefficients. You should know how to open up a bracket in an expression, in an equation. You should know how to open up brackets. But if you don't know how to do that, as time goes on, we'll come across such, all right, and I'll explain and all that. So basically, you should know how to collect like terms, know how to cross multiply, know how to open up brackets. All right. Sometimes you can subtract a number or add numbers to both sides in order to get your answer. Okay, without talking much, back to our question. We are looking for the value of x. To find the value of x, you are simply going to do something in such a way that this x stands alone. You want to know what this x is representing. Remember, in algebra, letters represent unknown values, right? So this x you are seeing here is representing an unknown value. So we need to find what this x is. So without wasting time, so from all the terms I mentioned, you have to ask yourself, which one is applicable? Which one is applicable in this question? All right. You cannot say divide both sides by coefficients, because at least you have 5 here, you have 20 here. So you need to ask yourself, what can I do? And you can't say cross multiply. There is nothing here to cross multiply. And you can't also say open the brackets. There's no brackets here to open. Do you understand? So the best term to use here is collect like terms, collection of like terms. So by collecting like terms, now the like terms here are 5 and 20. They are like terms because they are numbers. Do you understand? Like terms, they have the same quality. Do you understand? So 5 is a number, 20 is a number. So 5 and 20 are like terms. Now 3x is an unlike term to 5 and 20 because this 3x has a letter attached to it. In other words, this 3x has to stand alone. Around this 5, I need to, I'll collect this 5, I'll move this 5 to 20. It's just like you meeting someone that looks like you. Do you understand? I don't know how to put it. This 5 has to cross this equality sign to meet 20. So 3x has to stand alone. Now when 3x stands alone, this 5 will cross and meet 20. And mind you, 20 was there before. So you don't need to write 5 before 20. You know, this number was there before, so that number has to be there. This 20 was there first. Now this 5 is crossing to meet 20. Now when you are moving numbers, you should take note of their signs. Do you understand? Now when you have a positive number, now for you to know the signs of numbers, you look at the sign you have before that number. Like this is a positive 5. The sign I have here is positive sign. So this is positive 5 trying to cross this equality sign. Now when plus crosses equality sign, it changes to minus. On the other hand, when minus crosses equality sign, it changes to plus. All right. So this plus now crossing this equality sign changes to minus. Then I'll take my 5 there. So plus 5 changes as it crosses here to minus 5. Hope you are getting it. All right, moving on. So 3x is equal to 20 minus 5 is going to give us 15. Okay, now I have that 3x is equal to 15. I've not gotten my x yet. Why? Because something is still blocking it. I want x to stand alone. But in this case, 3 is still discomforting x. So I need to eliminate this 3. And the only thing I can do to remove this 3 is by dividing both sides by 3. In other words, I'm going to divide both sides by 3. Now 3 is the coefficient of x. The coefficient of any letter is the number attached to that letter, telling you how to multiply that letter. Do you understand? So 3x, just like saying 3 times x. Now the coefficient of x here is 3. Coefficients can be positive or negative. All right. So divide both sides by the coefficient of x. Now the coefficient of x here is what? 3. Now dividing both sides by the coefficient of 3, by the coefficient of x, meaning I'll divide the left hand side by 3, divide the right hand side by 3. So 3 here 1, 3 here is 1, right? Now 3 here is 1, 3 in 15 is 5, alright? Now I'm going to have 1x over 1. Now 1x means 1 times x, and 1 times x is x. So x over 1 is equal to 5 over 1. X over 1 is x. Any number over 1 is that number. Just like 2 over 1, 2, 3 over 1, 3, 10 over 1, 10, etc. So x over 1 is what? X. 5 over 1 is 5. Therefore, x is equal to 5. The value of x in this case is 5, okay? Alright, let's look at example 2. Alright, class, let's look at example 2, alright? So we have 5 open brackets x plus 2 equal to 30. Now, when you look at this, you have a bracket in this equation, right? So the first thing to do is to open up this bracket. Now, to open brackets in an equation, you need to use whatever value you have outside the bracket to multiply each of the items you have inside the bracket. So what I mean is this: I'm using this 5 to multiply x. I will also use 5 to multiply 2. So you're using what you have outside the bracket to multiply each of the items within the bracket. So now we're going to have 5 times x, you add your sign, then the same 5 times 2 equal to 30. Alright? 5 times x will give us 5x. 5 times 2 will give you 10, equal to 30. Now the next thing to do is to collect like terms, okay? Now let's collect like terms. 10 and 30 are like terms, so 5x will stand alone. Now 10 will cross and meet 30. Remember, 30 was there. It will turn to minus 10. So now 5x is equal to 30 minus 10, that is 20. How do we find x? We are going to divide both sides by 5. That means by the coefficient of x. The coefficient of x here is 5. So we're going to have 5x over 5 equal to 20 over 5. 5 here 1, 5 here 1, 5 here 1, 5 in 20 is 4. X over 1 is equal to x. Therefore, our x is equal to 4 over 1 is 4. So our x is equal to 4. Now, you can actually check out to see if you are correct. Okay? You can check out to see if you are correct. Remember, this is telling you that whatever you have by the left is equal to what you have by the right. Now, I've gotten my x as 4. So this equation we are having, let's see whether it will give us 30. I'll substitute the value of x here. That means wherever I see x, I'll put the value of x there, which is 4. Now let's see whether it will give us 30. 4 plus 2 is 6, right? Now 5 times 6 will give us 30. So that means our answer is actually very correct. Okay? Alright, I think I should give you another question that has fraction in it. Okay, let's look at example 3. Alright, class, here is another example. Example 3 says find the value of x. Now you have that x over 5 is equal to 6. X over 5 is equal to 6. Now to get the value of x, this is a fraction. So the first thing to do is to cross multiply. Alright? Now when you cross multiply, x over 5 equal to 6, you can make this 6 to be a fraction by writing it over 1. So if you want to make a number to turn to fraction, you simply write that number over 1. Now you're going to cross multiply. By cross multiplication, x will cross and multiply 1, 6 will cross and multiply 5. So we're going to have x times 1 equal to 5 times 6. Alright? Now x times 1 is x, 5 times 6 is 30. Therefore, x is equal to 30. Now for number 4, 2x over 4 is equal to 5 over 2. The same thing applies. You are going to cross multiply. Alright? Now when you cross multiply, 2x will multiply 2, 5 will multiply 4. So we are going to have 2x times 2 equal to 4 times 5. You write the first multiplication to the left and the second multiplication to the right. Do not equate the first multiplication first to the answer. Like some would say 2x times 2, you have 4x. You now say 2x plus 2, 4x. No. You first of all Write the first multiplication to the left. Put your equality sign. Write the second multiplication to the right. So now let's go. 2x times 2. Now 2 times 2 is 4, right? So 2x times 2 is going to be 4x. 4 times 5 is going to be 20. Now the next thing to do is you are going to divide both sides by the coefficient of x. The coefficient of x here is equal to what? 4. So we are dividing both sides by 4, dividing 20 by 4. 4 of course will cancel 4. 4 here is 1. 4 in 20 is 5. Therefore, our x is equal to 5. And if you want to know if you are correct, 2x means 2 times 5. So 2 times 5 is 10. And 10 divided by 4 is going to give you 5 over 2. All right. Okay, class, thank you so much. We have come to the end of today's math lesson here in my channel. Thank you so much for staying till the end of the lesson. And please, if you have any questions to ask, drop in the comment section and we'll surely answer you. And then if you want me to give you some questions to answer based on the lessons I'm teaching here, also drop in the comment section so that I'll get some exercises for you to also work on and then see how well or how well you have, let's say how well you have been so far in learning from my channel. All right, so if you want me to give you questions, please kindly drop in the comment section and I'll pick out some past questions and send for you to solve them. Remember, mathematics is very simple. Actually, for you to be very good in maths, you need to practice every day. All right, you practice maths every day because continuous practicing of maths will make you to become very good in mathematics. Thank you so much. Till my next video. Bye.